Hi, I'm Crystal, and I'm continuing to work on my brand new January journal. Some of the pages in my junk journal are a little bit too junky for me. I realize that as I go through the month and year, I'll probably end up covering quite a bit of this anyway, but I don't particularly like to have the commercial messages within my junk journal, and I've got plenty of junk, so I'm going to use some of that junk to go ahead and add a layer of decoration right now. So this is optional. I mean, it just depends on what you want to work with as you go through the year. But I want to cover up the Capital One advertisements and whatnot. I did want to take this opportunity to talk about glue for just a moment. So I have spent a lot of time studying glue, and overall, my conclusion is that glue is glue. I do find that when you're working with a glossy surface, like a lot of these oversized advertisements and magazine pages, that liquid glue does tend to give me a better adhesion than a glue stick would. Glue stick is fine when you're working with paper that is porous, but it doesn't work as well when you're working with paper that is glossy. When it comes to liquid glue, for the most part, I don't think it makes a huge difference. I've bought specialty craft glue, and I've bought ordinary glue, and for the most part, they're really about the same. I do prefer to avoid school glue and dollar store glue only because I find them a little bit too runny for my taste. So I prefer other choices because they're a little thicker. It's just easier to work with. It's not that there's anything non-adhesive about school glue. There's just a little bit more water in it compared to the adhesive. So when it comes to the other choices, I find that the Elmer's Extra Strong or Craft Glue is perfectly fine and is a little bit thicker than school glue. I also really like Mod Podge and Aleene's Tacky Glue, and both of those are available at Dollar Tree in small containers. The Mod Podge comes in a 2-ounce container, and the Aleene's Tacky Glue comes in a 3-ounce container, and both of those are not a bad price at that size. So you can get a better price with a larger container, but it's not terrible at Dollar Tree, and it gives you a chance to try the product if it's not one that you're familiar with. I don't even know what is in my needle tip bottle right now. I just fill it from whatever's handy as I go along, as it gets a little empty. So after I've covered a couple of my commercial messages, I am going on and using some text pages out of a magazine because it was printed on colored background. I just thought that was kind of attractive. And since the paper that I'm using as the base for this is copy paper, it's porous, and so for this I am using glue stick. Now I've compared quite a few glue sticks as well, and my conclusion there is that you should go based on weight because the glue sticks are all basically the same. So the Dollar Tree glue sticks that they sell during back to school, I think they've got an 8-pack for $1.25. Those are a pretty good deal, but their 4-pack on a per ounce basis is maybe not the best price per ounce on a glue stick. Once I've glued down my little bit of text, I'm just flipping that base over and trimming away the excess, and then I'm going to attach the whole thing to my junk journal page. So when the text is kind of torn up like that, it's almost like a pattern instead of like text that you're meant to read. Not a background that appeals to everybody, but I kind of like the effect. So once I've covered up the junkiest pieces of my junk journal, I think I'll be ready to go on and fill it with my memories and journaling. Thanks for joining me today.